The hang snatch high pull is a great drill that we can use to work on our technique in the snatch. It helps us work on bar contact in the hip crease and also our bar path. When we're doing any sort of snatch variation, we need to make sure we take a snatch grip, which is a lot wider on the bar than what you would have for a traditional clean variation or deadlift. So you're going to be right out wide so that the bar is sitting in the crease of our hip. We don't want to be too narrow that it's hitting us in the thighs. We don't want to be too wide that bar's above the ASIS, which is that bony point in the hip. The bar's going to be sitting in the hip crease. We sit down into our power position, and there are two different variations of the high pull that I get my athletes to work on. The first variation is from a high hang, which is in the hip crease, and we just pull straight up from there. And then the second variation or progression that you can move towards is to come down and start at the top of the knee and bring the bar to the hip crease before just extending up in the same way that you would with a normal high pull from the hip crease. Now what we're trying to work on with this high pull is a couple of main things. It's that bar contact in the hip. It's the contact between the hip and the bar as we extend up that puts force into the bar and projects the bar up. Then we're also working on bar path, keeping the bar really close to our body, and there's a couple of things we need to work on to get that right. The first is we want to try and hit a bit of a scarecrow position. So we're going to try and get our elbows above our hands as we pull up. All right, we're trying not to keep our hands and elbows vertically orientated next to one another. We want that elbow above the hand. And then if you have a look from side on, we're trying to use our lats to keep the bar close to us on the way up. So we don't want to let the bar fling out in front of our body like this. We're trying to use our lats and that scarecrow position to keep the bar close to our body. And we're actually going to think and cue ourselves to pull our shirt up with the bar as the bar's tracking vertically. And that's really important when we move on to doing a full snatch, for instance, because we don't want that bar to fling around. It's going to throw us off balance. It's going to make it quite hard to catch the snatch. Okay, so really important that you keep the bar close to your body.